that decision is made internally and a self-alignment within the person to know what they want, now that would be, it has to be primary, that has to happen first.
Mhm.
Because truthfully, I don't feel like I will be able to change and convince someone that has to be an inward reflection to say,
Right.
yes,
They
I
gotta
want
have
that.
passion.
Exactly.
Leaders Talk, Season 2.
Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome back. It is your favorite time of the week. As always, it's my favorite time of the week. It's time for Leaders Talk. And as always, I am here with you, your intrepid host, Andrew Dupy, head of communications here at Leaders Brands. And today I have with me Dr. Charbel Harb. So Charbel is a chiropractic physician and a medical director at Integrated Health Solutions, where he seamlessly blends ancient Eastern remedies with cutting-edge Western research. With specializations in acupuncture, dry needling, sports industries, and movement diagnosis, Dr. Harb is more than a compassionate healthcare provider. What he is a movement maestro. He employs the principle of diagnosis through movement, adeptly identifying and addressing suboptimal patterns to restore optimal function, minimize performance, or maximize performance. He didn't want to minimize it, ladies and gentlemen. We won't edit that out because it's funny, and well-being. And for our interests, yes, Charbel is a first-time author, and we'll be discussing that with us today. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. We had a little technical difficulties, but we've got them through. So yeah, Charbel, let our audience know a little bit about you and just what I didn't cover.
Thank you. Honored to be here today, Andrew. So I appreciate the hosting and this generous welcome. A little bit about me. I am passionate about helping people. I
Yeah.
feel in life, my purpose is to heal and to educate my patients or my team and to lead. And I feel like I'm living to that, which I'm grateful for that. That's what I'm today. I am leading 3 clinics. We're also in the process of taking that platform of our education to our team and to our patients, and want to take that a little bit more nationally to help individuals who have alignment with our philosophy, with our approach to care and to leadership, and provide that. So hopefully they can find value in it, and hopefully they can implement that in their life and in their coaching and or in their patient care and their growth within their clinics.
Yeah. So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into that. It's an interesting segue going from healing all the way into leadership and being able to turn one into something that influences the other. So I think our audience would kind of be interested. Just give us a few minutes to tell us exactly how those two things integrate.
So we can step back a little bit first. As I started my clinic over 15 years ago, I knew some things about the business aspect of a clinic. I knew
Mm.
much more about the healing aspect of the clinic, of what I need to do to be a caring provider, someone who listens, truly want to find solutions for my patients and help them with their pain and get them to be functional and enjoy life.
Hmm.
But the missing piece was, how do you go about finding the right location? How do you go about purchasing your equipment? How do you go about branding yourself? How do you go about communicating your message to your patients? And then when that became a little bit clearer, the question was, well, how can I help more people? So then how can I hire another doctor? How can I train the new doctor to resonate with us and to carry this voice, this brand, this message? And then again, of course, as you grow a little bit more, you say, well, how can I hire staff and get them be on the same bus, the same direction rolling forward? And then so those questions started early on in the journey of healthcare. At a
Yeah.
time that I wanted answers, unfortunately, I could not find an entity, a business that answers and that direction resonated with my voice, with my values, with my characteristics.
Mhm.
So I had to answer my own questions through listening to multiple brain leaders in the industry, to multiple business individuals, to multiple books, and find and distill from all of those segments what resonated with me in terms of value, character, and an alignment. So
Yeah.
it was much more hard work for me to find answers along the way than having one coach, one person give me the answer that I can align with and that who's done it before me and who has the answers. So fast forward, I look back and I say, what if that person existed? Would my success in helping patients would have 10x? Would my growth and helping more individual, helping people in the industry and the community and the patients would have 10x? And I feel like yes.
Mhm.
So knowing that, I feel I am called to bring this information of now 15 years of experience and learning and implementing to put it in a platform where now it becomes available for the primarily chiropractic industry, chiropractors, but also for potentially anyone who is in the health business industry who would like to take this knowledge and implement it, apply it to their clinics, into their life.
Yeah. And knowing several doctors myself, and I run into this a lot, that once they, start to actually move into the decision of where they're going to go with their life, are they going to be someone that's going to work in a hospital and they're just going to be in that kind of structure forever, essentially, or are they going to go and do their own practice? And many of them, their ambition is practice because, the hospital life can be taxing, it can be draining, it can be financially rewarding, but not really personally rewarding once you've been in it long enough. But then they realize the difficulty of doing your own practice, because at that point you aren't just being a medical professional, whether it's a chiropractor or a general practitioner or anything. You're now a business leader. You now need to compete. You now need to pay personnel. You now need to actually run things, and that's not something that they teach you in medical school or chiropractic school or any kind of other structure. So how do you introduce that kind of idea to people who are medical professionals that are kind of deciding, well, maybe I want to be in business for myself?
That's a great question, and it's true. As we both know, that if there's a bit of everything in this world, right?
Yeah.
There are individuals who just want to serve, uh, like doctors,
Mhm.
and they would prefer to show up, serve, be the best doctor, and then just go home and take care of their family or take care of their personal interest. And there are individuals who have this inner call, the feeling that they feel um, that they would prefer to have a little bit more of a say-so in the daily activities of their life. Maybe I would prefer a certain message on Instagram, a certain video, or a language in the brand. And so obviously, first it has to be a self-reflection to
Hmm.
say, I want to also be in control of uh, my schedule, in control of my outcome, in control of my success, in control of my patient care, in control of the processes. So once that decision is made internally and a self-alignment within the person to know what they want, now that would be, it has to be primary, that has to happen first.
Hmm.
Because truthfully, I don't feel like I will be able to change and convince someone that has to be an inward reflection to say,
Right.
yes,
They
I
gotta
want
have
that.
passion.
Exactly. And when that is the case, then it will be easy to, at that point, then look and see what aligns with you. What is the person message, that brand, that company that is promising you a blueprint, a framework that will get you going through that process much faster, much more efficiently, and much more effectively, and with a more proven success track. Uh,
Mhm.
and then with that point, we just present our material, our framework, our blueprint to the doctor, to the practitioner, and once there's an alignment to feel like, yeah, this is the voice I resonate with, this is the message I resonate with, this is the brand I resonate with, then it will be easy to take that system and implement it within your clinic, within your practice, as opposed to just randomizing it or just trying to be one for everyone. Because we're not, we need to have a match, an alignment between a person who wants this and we want to be the right person for them.
Yeah. And how do you have difficulty sometimes in changing a mindset? I mean, not really necessarily changing, but you know that many people that are in the medical professional field, they're very much, they have to be in some ways technically minded towards medicine. It's a lot to learn. There's a lot to it. And again, since they don't teach you anything in business when you're in medical school, uh, many of them completely lock that out. It's not something that comes in. So do you have to actually kind of change the way of thinking, even if the passion's there, of someone that has been at that point years and years before they actually get into practice for themselves, ingrained with medicine, medicine, medicine?
It's funny you say that because the name of the book is Mind Over Metrics. So,
Yeah.
yes, the mindset has to change. The mindset has to change. Your thinking about aspects of life and yourself will have to change. But with our unique approach, we don't make you change. We present you with different strategies and approach that the change comes within.
Hmm.
We present you with a mirror so you can see your own shadow, you can see your own reflections. We present you with tools that you will want the change to happen naturally within you to go into the direction that you choose to go. We don't obviously force the change. We just present the tools, the reflections, the strategies.
Yeah.
And because end of the day, you want that change and you want to uh, create that change within you. And we
Right.
will be the catalyst. We will help you transform throughout the way. Um, but yes, the final answer is yes. Each one of us need to the change, the materialistic change starts first with a thought, starts in within your brain, starts in with your changes in your reflection and within your thinking and your mind, and then the tangible stuff occurs. So the answer is yes.
So a lot of it's internal healing. I mean, in some ways, you're growing in the direction that you want to grow, just the way that you help people overcome pain, which that's also an important part of being able to help someone be a leader. I can tell you right now, people that have issues of chronic pain, I have several of them myself. My ex-wife was someone that had a lot of them. I have a very close friend of mine. Those hold you back in a lot of ways. You don't really feel like moving forward sometimes when that's the first thing that's in your mind. So, is it kind of overcoming your internal blocks that you throw up in front of yourselves the way that some people may do for say when they're working in other businesses and they don't want to pivot or they don't want to move to other things, they always kind of decide they're stuck in that lane?
Very excellent analogy. That's a very good analogy, drawing in the parallel between a patient being sometimes internal mindset to move on past a pain spot and past a stagnation, plateauing.
Yeah.
That's a very good analogy. Yes, we're human. We apply more or less, most of us, the same mental mechanism, the same mindset, the same approach to other aspects of life, whether it's pain or whether it is a business pain, whether it is the pain of becoming your own faith in your business, and that is also a pain. And we apply the same mechanism to a lot of aspects in life, and that's a very beautiful analogy that you draw. And the answer is yes again.
Yeah. Thank you, but that's unfortunately for me, that's from experience in many cases. I would love to not have TMJD and neuropathy, although that is in remission. But yeah, so you're basically translating healing into leadership with this. I mean, it's so because I've run into this so many times, just as we've discussed here, that people tend to hold themselves back. It's not really that the obstacles in front of you rarely are something that you absolutely can never overcome. But in many cases, it just becomes so overwhelming that it's easier not to try. So what are ways you kind of inspire people? So you talk about you have some strategies that you've employed, maybe some case studies or something that you can share with our audience to just give an idea of what they were going to find when they actually pick up your book.
That's a great question. Um, there are a variety of things. Maybe today we'll touch on a one or two items of
Right.
how.
Yeah. The time we
Uh,
have. Yeah.
First is simple. We wrote a story that we went through, and hopefully the story itself that we went through from the starting or even the background that I personally had, being born in a war zone in Lebanon, Beirut,
Mm.
lived over 18 years there of war-torn Lebanon, though it was a beautiful country, but unfortunately wars tore it apart.
Oh
Personally
yeah.
grew very horrible.
Yeah.
Personally grew in a financially challenged family with material scarcity. So I personally had a lot of challenges in my upbringing between war and financial challenges and health care, but then made it to the U.S. subsequently for schooling and additional schooling, and then I enjoyed staying here and then fast forward into the healing. Sometimes just a story when we look at someone's story, we become inspired, and to say, well, if someone with English a third, fourth language and all the financial hardship, immigration, and if someone with those challenges in the background can do it, what's holding me back from doing it? Sometimes could be just a simple story like that when we explore and present it, where the recipient might reflect and say, well, yeah, what is holding me back? What's truly my excuse here? But if we, when we start engaging with the client, with the doctor who would ask our help, whether it's through the book or through our platform online, um, one of the things we like to touch on is a vision. It's like if you were to fast forward yourself 5 years from now, and you were to look back at today or tomorrow or next week, what do you see yourself doing? Do you
Mm.
see yourself where you are? Do you see yourself maybe helping more in the community by adding a doctor or two to your clinic so you can help more individuals and also help those doctors find a path and find a way to develop? You know, do you find yourself just being happy with going in, taking care of patients, and going home and not having to worry about taxes and insurances? And so there's no right or wrong, but just
Right.
look back so that one day in those 5 years, you don't have any regrets. And you
Mm.
fulfilled your purpose and you're living to your fulfilled happiness. It could be a simple exercise, a little bit of a reflection.
Yeah.
Um, and then with those answers, we can together craft a path, a blueprint, a framework to know how we want to take you then from today to 5 years from now, depending on what sounds best for you. There are other obviously exercises and approaches to help create clarity. And with that clarity, you can we can have better answers and better the strategies are present, the tools are present, but then
Yeah.
first we need that inner alignment, that
Yeah.
work.
Mental
So
discipline. Yeah.
100% discipline is a huge key in that. Um, the other elements might involve work on self, just to understand where your heart is, where your mind is. Is your heart aligned with what your mind needs? Is this truly, do I feel like, because sometimes you tell yourself, I want to be a business owner or own a clinic or run a clinic or be involved in the business part of the clinic. But then you have fear in you that is too dominant and it's
Mm.
really blocking you from being let go. And so there are other type of work that we also do to find out where that fear is coming from. What is the blockage that's holding you back from truly being yourself, expressing yourself, and leading from a space of freedom and alignment, not from fear and holding back. So there are a couple of examples that I just shared with you, three probably between the story, the vision, and the alignment work.
Yeah.
And hence why the also the work we do is called the alignment framework into that. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for that question.
Well, no, and I also like that it's all talking about being able to find your own path, not necessarily the path others have for you, because that's another problem that I've heard and run into, not just with business professionals, medical professionals as well, that they have pressures to do things within their chosen fields or their chosen businesses that sometimes they don't want to do. Sometimes it's the idea that they should go into private practice. Sometimes it's the idea that, oh, practice isn't what's important. You should stay in the hospital. You should stay doing these things because that's the way that you really serve. But the truth of the matter is that all of those things can be basically equal as long as it within yourself you're finding what's true to you. Is that's kind of that's what I'm getting from what you're expressing here.
Absolutely. As long as you feel or you know you're living your purpose, you're
Yeah.
fulfilling your calling, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, whether it is in a private clinic as an associate, whether it is in a hospital as an employee, whether it is your own journey, whether it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
As long as there's this internal peace that you know you're waking up every morning excited, happy, purposeful, uh, living to your optimal self, fulfilling your calling on earth and being purposeful, serving others.
Right.
End of the day, there's no right or wrong. It is as long again, it could be it's not one fit all for everybody. Not everybody has to be working in a hospital or in a clinic or an associate and vice versa.
Right.
Uh, but the ultimate goal is to be in this peaceful space, to feel aligned, to feel purposeful, to feel joyful every day with your action, and not feel like you're missing on something, or you feel like you could have done this, or you knew you have it in you, but you're not doing it because of somebody told you you can't do it, or you're living in a fear of failing. And those will be where now your inner soul, your heart is not aligning with what you're doing, and then things starts to misalign, and then you might become unhappy or angry sometimes, or feeling
You won't be as effective.
won't
Yeah.
be as effective, and you feel like your calling is one place, but you're doing something else just because it's the norm, or because your friend did it, or because you don't know how to do it. And that's now misaligned, and it's not really serving your true soul and your heart to really be doing the best you could do. And who knows, what once you align, what you can do.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. And that's actually that's something that, I took me years to overcome. I did many things in my life that I did because it's financially rewarding, but it wasn't personally rewarding. It may have been it's what people expected me to do, but it wasn't the things that I felt in myself that I was aligned to do. But millions of people do that. I'm not a special case. I think that in fact more people go that route than go the route of finding the thing that actually brings them joy and makes them an effective leader, business person, husband, wife, anything. And I think that's what I get from you that this book can perhaps help people with, even beyond just the idea of, well, becoming a business leader.
Absolutely. The lessons in the book, the journey in the book, definitely help unlayer that, unpeel that, inspire you, motivate you, but also gives you segments of different lessons in each chapter from life, what we learned, what were our mistakes, how we find out the solution and the answers. And every chapter presents you with a reflection to, as we discussed, to reflect back to say, am I where I need to be? Am I in the right direction? Reflect in every chapter, reflection. And we also invite you in every chapter with an action step
Excellent.
to hopefully give you a direction of, okay, what do I do from here? What direction should I head toward? And so the book is very intentional in a story format, tells a journey, tells the challenges, shares the fears, the vulnerabilities in every segment of the way, and then presents you also with what we were able to accomplish and how we were able to pass, and then hopefully through those stories and through those authentic vulnerabilities, the reader can find their own answers. They can find their pictures. They can find themselves in it. It might be a mirror for them as well, and to resonate and find themselves in there. And hopefully with those as well, they can have more reflection on where they are and come out of it with more value, with more answers, direction, and success for them, for their family, for their patients.
Excellent. Normally, I ask as we kind of wrap up for a golden nugget, but this whole interview has kind of been one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think your golden nugget here is go ahead and pick up Mind Over Metrics. But how can our audience though find out more about you if they want to dig a little deeper?
Mind Over Metrics will be published very soon. It's in its
Yep.
final versions. The easiest way is through our umbrella website, which is called Pulse Point Practice. Pulse, like the Pulse Point Practice. That's our umbrella website. On that website, you'll find us there. There we have a podcast that's also coming up soon. Maybe by the time it's launched, it might be live. If not, keep an eye there. We have the book. We also have direct one-on-one. So the audience can definitely find us there. That would be, yeah.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, those links are down below. Charbel, so I want to have you back on because I think we've only kind of touched the surface. And once we actually have the book that's out and able to get in their hands, we can do a little bit more of a deep dive into it and actually talk about some of the specifics in the book. So keep an eye out for another invite. But until then, it was absolutely a pleasure having you.
Pleasure is mine. I would love that. I appreciate you and your audience for this moment. And it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.